It is now time for the Love and Hip Hop New York Season 4, Episode 7, Recap, Review, and Opinion. The episode is titled Messy All Over the World. And before I even get into this, I have to put up a disclaimer. Some of the things that I said are for entertainment purposes only. So hopefully I won't lose any subscribers or lose my life for what I'm about to say. And with that said, let's let the games begin. The episode starts out at Stadium Red in Harlem, New York. Saigon is in the studio rapping in the soundproof booth, wearing his son's shirt and hat. And Erica Jean comes by so that he can apologize for being bipolar and full of shit. I mean, for being a jerk and throwing her pocketbook in the bushes. So the midget stands up on a chair and says that he's sorry, but his dad did it to his mom, so get over it. Of course, Whistlemouth accepts his apology, and the two agree on making a trip to the therapist to make sure that the baby is okay. I can't help but to notice that this appears to be a continuous pattern with these two. You see, Saigon has a jail mentality, and he doesn't know what to do without white people being there to guide him, and he only seems to be able to smash with makeup sex. Think about it. When he wanted her to take the DNA test to confirm the paternity of their child, they argued, and then she complied. They sent the test off to the white man, and when it came back, they kissed and make up. Same thing in this situation. They have an explosive argument in public. They go see some white people, and then everything is fine. And he gets to fall into the gap. The best part of this scene is when he tells her that he loves to see her smile. She'll never hear that lie in her lifetime ever again. This chick's two front teeth are in a long distance relationship. And you love to see that smile? You lying f***ing midget. Oh well, as small as he is, all he can do is tell little lies. In the next scene, we take a trip to 30th Street Guitars in Midtown, New York City. Amina and Peter are meeting up, and Peter is already not wearing his wedding ring, and he's still sleeping at Tara's place. Amina is so mad she's about to start biting necks. But Peter soothes her savage inner vampire by letting her know that her expressing anger or disappointment is like acting like Tara in his eyes. After a few lines about his kids missing him and how he's only there for them and whatnot, she is back under his spell. I swear this fool should have been a preacher. He'd have a place to live, and he gets to lie to women all of the time. Anyway, Amina tells him that she wants to meet the children. Peter lets Amina know that Jameson is cool, but Kaz is a little snitch, so she can meet the quiet one. Amina lets Peter know that he needs to sever ties with Tara and start acting like a husband. Good luck with that one. Now we pay a visit to Rich's apartment in Edgewater, New Jersey. Erica Mena stops by, and Rich has to explain his stupid idea of hiring Peter Guns to manage Erica Mena. They basically wanted Peter to help with day-to-day operations. Allegedly. Not for good TV. He allegedly really thought that Peter was going to manage Erica. Anyway, Erica feels that Peter needs to mind his own business and worry about his own problems. Erica stresses to Rich that she fully understands that she isn't perfect by any means, and at the end of the day, she wants Rich more than anything in the world. In other words, this lame, thirsty, no game having bastard is packing. Why else in the world would Erica Mena want this guy? I'm not hating. I'm happy for Rich. Now we take a trip to Platinum Studios in Hell's Kitchen, New York City. Rich has a meeting with Yandy. And when we see Rich Dollars on Love and Hip Hop New York, he is usually either doing one of four things. He's number one, drinking. Number two, counseling a man on something stupid that he did to a woman. Number three, being yelled at by a woman. Or four, a woman is crying to him about something stupid that she did. So, with that said, let's see what the fuck Yandy wants. Yandy lets Rich know that when they last saw each other and she was dressed like Sho'nuff from The Last Dragon, the reason she yelled at him like he was an inferior little troll was because she was on her period. I mean, she was stressed about business and Mendeecees possibly having to wear a diaper when they're done with him in jail. Anyway, she starts crying and carrying on about bail hearings that were supposed to happen but never do. Yada, yada, yada. Yandy, you chose to be with a drug dealer because he had curly hair and swagger. So do like the other single mothers with babies' daddies in jail do and go get you some dick. Then call the doctor in the morning. And when I say the doctor, I mean Dr. Tara. But we'll get to that tramp in a minute. I think that Yandy's crying didn't work on her dad, so now she's crying to Rich. Next thing you know, the kids will be with Rich or with her mom. It looks like Yandy will be taking a vacation to get things off of her mind, like motherhood. I think she just needs a vibrator and to move on from Mendeecees. Now we're back at MBK Entertainment in Midtown New York City. K. Michelle has been going through a few things with her team behind the scenes, and it seems like no one is competent in their job except for her closet full of wigs. But this gutter butt country trailer trash bumpkin lets her co-manager Jeannie McLean know that she needs some and a visit from the ghost hunters to search her haunted house of evil spirits. And when I say haunted house, I mean vagina. Jeannie politely lets this nutcase know that they are managers and not an escort service, and to get the fuck out. So now we're at Gaslight in the meatpacking district of New York City, and Team Waffle, Rich and Peter, are meeting up to discuss Erica trying to feed Soup Kitchen Peter with a plate. And this conversation has to go by fast so Peter can go continue training for his bum fight championship. Peter tells Rich that he has to choose between royalty or ratchetness, and he doesn't even explain to us which one is which. Rich doesn't want to pick between the two. However, seeing that Erica makes some money and it costs money to raise a Peter, if Rich does have to in fact choose, he chooses Perfect 10 Erica Mena over sponsoring that Blackfoot homeless child known as Peter. I said in an earlier review that I think that Peter may be Rich's muscle. You know, like if someone has to get beaten up or shot. And Peter lets it be known that Rich can't rely on him anymore for defense. Or when some guys want to come at Rich's neck, as he puts it. Yeah, Peter, you're nothing but trouble all of the way around. Now we're at Oz Studios in Midtown New York City. We are once again checking in with the queen of ratchet, K. Michelle. But she isn't alone. She brought some big nasty looking woman named Tracy Renee up in there, whose butt is shaped like a shitty diaper. And of course Fat Paris had to show up too. There must have been food somewhere. Anyway, K. Michelle starts shedding big fake crocodile tears about blogs like Media Takeout and meatmagazine.blogspot.com, spreading alleged rumors about her being pregnant. The funny thing about it is she thinks that her ex-assistant Brianna is a nutcase for crying over eating chicken despite being a vegetarian of 4 years. And she did this just to keep the job and please K. Michelle. Now the poor thing just might have eaten her own child to keep that job. She was struggling. Yet you sit up there and cry with fat girls about pregnancy rumors on the internet. You're lucky that anybody is talking about you at all. Stop beating with people with flowers and maybe somebody will have sympathy for you. You need to go make friends and make out with Duchess Lattimore from Black Ink Crew. K. Michelle and Duchess Lattimore are perfect for each other. Oh, and before I move on from this silly subject, I just remembered something. The blogs posted pictures of her humongous penis fly trap that she affectionately calls her, quote, woo-ha. The pictures show that she has a kangaroo pouch between her legs, and her pussy is so big that she could smuggle big-headed Mexicans into America over the border. Now, despite multiple pictures and multiple outfits, this crazy idiot claims that the images were photoshopped. Really, bitch? Moving along. Now we're at Yandy's office in Brooklyn. And she receives a call from her jailbird boyfriend. She hangs up the phone with whoever she was talking to take his call. Now that's a businesswoman. Anyway, Mendeecees has yet another alleged bail hearing looming. At this And this is why they make fun of our lips. At this point, Mendeecees' bail hearings are like that dad that calls his son up on the phone and swears that he's going to pick him up but doesn't show up. We'll just have to wait and see. Now we're at Marcus Vineyard in Brooklyn with Tahiri and Lexi. They are still trying to figure out how they can save their father from skipping from house to house like Peter Guns does every night. And Lexi throws out the idea that they can have some sort of concert to raise money. And I hope that she wouldn't hire Joe Budden to perform at this concert, because they need more than 20 concert goers to raise enough money to help their father. Anyway, Tahiri thinks that they need to send their father money so that he can keep the raggedy place that he has now, as opposed to building a church from the ground up. Lexi feels that Tahiri is being flaky. And Lexi, who is shaped like a bag of potatoes, hates flaky. She appears to have abandonment issues. I don't know if she was left behind at the museum during a class trip, or if her mother at birth dropped her off on just some random stranger's doorstep, but life has been really rough to Lexi. She should just go take her frustrations out at the gym. No, but seriously, I hope that she doesn't hurt anybody, including herself, because I smell a crazy island girl ticking time bomb Rihanna part 2 right here. Just you wait and watch. I don't know whether or not we will ever know the whole truth about these two, but I do believe that Lexi cannot trust Tahiri, and Tahiri is full of shit. I mentioned this in earlier reviews. I'm not a fan of Tahiri or Tarnasha. Anyway, they ended off the scene early because Lexi stormed off crying in the bathroom. But these two bore me and annoy me so much that I wish there was a portal in that bathroom so that they would just disappear. Now it's time to take a trip to Panama and visit our favorite fake lesbians, Erica and the guacamole gangster, the taco terrorist, the chipotle chola with her refried bean drawn on eyebrows. Yep, slightly sloppy since Santana. Anyway, the dynamic duo bonded by dancing, playing, and dildoing on the beach. And some poor island woman may have abandoned her little big-headed baby because I saw Erica holding the little mijo. Now, I've never seen Erica holding her own child, but at least I got to see her interact with children for once. She actually didn't look out of place in a motherly role. Let me stop. I'm team Erica 100% all day. I'm just messing with you. Anyway, I must warn you. What I have to say about this next scene will shock and offend most people. So viewer, and if you go to my blog, reader discretion is strongly advised. Lord forgive me. So Team Midget, Snake Mouth, and Head Detective are finally going to the therapist. In my opinion, they needed to take Snake Mouth to the dentist. Maybe in the next episode. Anyway, they arrive at Dr. Carmichael's office in Midtown, New York City. And this is false advertising off the bat. I don't see any cars and I don't see any Jacksons. Carmichael's my ass. They wouldn't get a dime from me for that reason alone. No, but before I really go into the scene, I just wanted to say this. I know why he threw Erica's bag now. Saigon reached out them little kangaroo arms and thought that he grabbed her, but when he realized that the only thing that he got was her bag, he threw it in the bushes out of frustration. Now, if you pay attention, whenever they get into an argument, she never says stuff like, man, get out of here, go beat your dick, because he can't reach it. Now, you remember when they were arguing in the car in front of Erica's crazy father's house? You're telling me y'all didn't see the booster seat? When they were in the restaurant, he was sitting in a high chair. Now, anytime a man lists a rattle as an instrument that he plays, you know that he's tiny. Just wanted to let you know that, little guy. I mean little Sai. Anyway, Saigon was right. His son, according to 2 doctors' testimonies, has in fact not been being stimulated on a daily basis. So does that mean that Erica Jean was leaving him alone for days at a time? Anyway, the speech pathologist suggested that they see a psychologist, which means that Fake Butt has been shooting paintballs out of her gap instead of teaching the boy something. I don't understand what SpongeBob could be doing with her time. She has no job, And in this scene, she's wearing the same dress that she wore when Saigon read the DNA test results outside of the pool. It's not like she goes shopping. And she always has the same hairdo. And Lord knows that she doesn't spend any time picking food out of her teeth. You, Saigon. You should have known that something wasn't right when her dumb ass tried to read a coloring book to the baby. And fuck y'all talking about how dare he go in on Queen Latifah like that. I talk about her like this because she has a bow-legged mouth. And I'm tired of looking at that geedy gap. Not a greedy, but geedy gap because it ate the R. Selfish bitch. She needs to give Peter Guns an apartment in that space in her mouth. Sitting up there flossing her mangled mouth with shoestrings instead of speaking to her baby. She's pathetic. Anyway, Dr. Chloe Carmichael informs us about some terrible news. The other doctor wrote down that Stephen, or Little B, bangs his head when he gets angry or upset so that he can get the words out. I guess we all know what to get him for Christmas now. A hat that says out of order. But you gotta love this doctor named Chloe. She held back her laughter when she saw Saigon's son is taller than him. And she didn't call Erica Jean field goal mouth or kick a football at her even once. Not as a professional. For the record, fuck y'all that sat around judging Saigon for wanting a DNA test. With all that headbutting that the boy is doing, Saigon probably thought that was Chad Ochocinco's baby. All I know is they better get him a helmet quick because his brain is going to look like the inside of Mendeecees' ass the way he's going. Sheesh. Saigon, you only have yourself to blame. You knew damn well that Erica's slingshot mouth Jean is retarded as fuck. And you're a midget. Now you want to complain when your baby comes out thinking that he's a hammerhead shark? Really, motherfucker? Really? You knew as soon as she spoke that her jeans had holes in them. She talks like she has no tongue. Then to top it off, when you see a normal person smile, they have a little sparkle on their tooth. And when she smiled, everything went black. Come on, son. And when you ejaculate, your sperm got band-aids and crunches on them. So what did you really expect? Don't try to shit diamonds, you idiot. I just feel sorry for that poor baby. Next thing you know, we'll find out that Erica Jean and Saigon are related. And I thought that my life was fucked up. Anyway, Q Chloe is going to teach their little boy how to talk, seeing that Erica Jean must have gone to school with Fantasia. Anyway, now we're at Greenhouse in Soho, New York City. Don't ask me why K. Michelle has long fake red hair and a referee shirt on. She looks like she's starring in a movie titled Rihanna Goes to Prison. And don't ask me why Paris looks like a big black disco ball. These two goofy bras are celebrating K. Michelle's album hitting number 2 on the Billboard album sales charts. Anyway, they get inside and Messy Yandy is in there with one of her artists that looks a lot like Graf. I'm not sure whether or not that's him. Anyway, Peter and Amina show up, and before they could sit down good, Yandy notices that her cousin, Peter Guns, is wearing a wedding ring. And yeah, according to Yandy's grandfather, they are cousins. Anyway, her fellow mean girl, K. Michelle, asks Peter when the last time he slept with Tara was. And that nasty, messy, sneaky, two-faced scoundrel Yandy says, "Do you really think that he's going to sit here in front of his wife and tell you that he slept with Tara 3 weeks ago?" And this right here is why Yandy and K. Michelle deserve every tear that they shed in this episode. These two have bad karma. They are villains. Too bad their nemesis, Erica Mena and Chrissy Lampkin, didn't show up with brass knuckles and spiked bats. I am sure that if Erica brought K. Michelle the cupcakes that she brought Angela Yee, that these two wig warriors would have an immediate shift in the attitude department. Anyway, Peter says that one of these days he will have to sit down with both of these women and his life will be exposed. Yeah, in the next episode. And he said that both of them may leave him when this happens, and that may be the best thing that happened to him. Yeah, Peter, you probably have your stuff at two groupies' houses right now. Two new women. One of the most offensive parts of Peter's confession to Yandy and K. Michelle is when he toasts and says, "Praise the Lord." Trust me, Peter, even Lucifer doesn't co-sign your bullshit. And Amina is clueless. She's been conned once again into believing that whatever they were discussing was in the past and that he's moved on from Tara. But what I'm concerned with is this. Why does Amina sound like Daffy Duck having a seizure when she talks? Come on. She sounds like she has a mouth guard on when she speaks. You're a singer, not a boxer. If you spit when you say Mississippi, hey, that's one thing. But you're not supposed to spit when you say hi. And it's not normal to lisp when you yawn. Peter needs to take her to see Chloe. Now, I talk to cats that speak English better than Mike Tyson, Amina. In our next scene, we make a visit to Synergy Spa with America's favorite fake lesbian duo. And yes, Synergy is spelled with a C, like Santana. These two were back from Panama finally, and they decided to take a dyke dip in the bathtub of love. And they're toasting like Latinas by bumping tacos. They're trying really hard to act like they really like each other as more than friends. And there's a lot of awkward kissing. But you know, I won't believe that these two are real lesbians until I see somebody give somebody the circles. Now that's entertainment. And the next scene, Yandy is meeting up with the adultery avenger, Tarnasha Wallace. They meet up outside of ground support and sit down on a bench as if they're waiting for a bus. Hopefully not the one driven by Stevie J. Anyway, Tara is dressed like she should be. Like she lives in a barn. She must have been shoveling some of Peter's feet feces. And Yandy has on a skimpy little white outfit as if she's about to attend a hooker's wedding in the summer. Anyway, I can tell that Tara has moved on to new penis, because like a typical woman who has moved on to the next one, she has a new hairdo and she is dressed differently. I never saw her dressed like she works with horses before, and just like Mimi, I bet the new guy is as straight as a grape. I'm talking jellyfish wrist. Just wait and watch. I bet he's about as fruity as a glass of penis colada. Anyway, they're discussing the scene where Amina and Peter bumped into K. Michelle and Yandy. Yandy informs Tara that Peter spoke very nicely about her and her alleged mothering skills. However, he lied about not knowing when the last time he stuck his Peter inside of her was. And in a classic display of too much information, Tara tells Yandy that not only does she sleep with Peter whenever she wants to, over the last 2 months, she has probably taken 2 Plan B pills. In other words, Peter has been going raw like a vegan. Up until this point, I didn't like Tara, and with that epic stupidity being displayed and the aroma of adultery nestled in my nostrils, I so hope that Tara doesn't bring her old adulterous looking neck back next season. The lines on her neck, her hairdo, the whole she is a better quality of whore meat than Amina act. I mean, I'm just done with her. In our final scene, we pay a visit to Grand Canal Court to play some basketball with Peter Guns and My Little Pony, Saigon. And Midget Man is doing handicap tricks like passing the ball behind his back and living up to his Indian name. Saigon in the Indian language means little arms. I mean, seriously, his arms are so short that one day he was road raging and he tried to flip somebody off. He poked himself in the eye. There's no reason to have arms that short. If he tried to hug himself, all he'd do was clap. And all Erica Jean does is mock him with that gap, talking about, my teeth can do something that your arms can't do, and that's reach out, ha ha. Wrong. Just wrong. Nah, but for real, I hate to be Saigon, because if the police ever run up on him and say, hey, nigga, turn around and put your hands on your head, he's going to turn around and lift them little ass arms and be like, oops. I can do the chest now. The head ain't happening. Anyway, the basketball game was unfortunately cut short because Planned Parenthood's customer of the month, 2 months in a row, Tara Wallace, shows up and she bum rushes the court by rushing her bum boyfriend. Peter didn't recognize her at first because of her new hairdo. He nearly called her one of his other bitches' names until he noticed the candy necklace made out of Plan B pills. Tara walks up on Peter, and with the power of flat butt and flat acting, she lets him have it. No, not the cooch this time. She lets this jerk know that she doesn't appreciate being embarrassed in front of short bust K. Michelle, who has a haunted vagina, and Yandy, who has a man who's probably going to be in prison for the next 20 years with the line in the showers longer than Black Friday waiting for their turn to pull his curly hair. I mean, if you got to impress somebody, Yandy and K. Michelle are the last people to worry about, you stupid bitch. Walking pill bottle bitch. So shut the fuck up. Anyway, Tarnasha has no issues with committing adultery with a homeless man who sleeps on her corroded couch. Yet she is ranting and raving to Peter about him wearing a wedding ring that his wife gave him. And somehow viewers think that she's the smart woman in this and that she's the better catch compared to Amina. Anyway, at the end of the scene, Peter lets Tara know that he fake loves her, to which Tara replies, "Who gives a fuck about love, Peter?" And you know what, Tara? You're right. So since Tara doesn't want anything to do with love and the only thing hip hop about her is working at Guitar Center, this needs to be her first and last season. If not, the next season, Tara will be just like Jocelyn Hernandez and Tammy Roman. She'll be having abortions on TV. Just remember this, Tara. Before you have your abortion on TV, I have a fortune cookie for you. And it reads, vacuum your floors before you vacuum your womb. That's all. See you next week for my next review. And make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and comment below. Look out for my Black Ink reviews.